Good morning. We are out and about, and we have an absolutely gorgeous day today. Not a cloud in the sky. See the mountains off in the distance. So pretty. Very glad that we have some sunshine happening. And hello. So, good morning. How are you? What's on your agenda for today? Your schedule? I have my 8:30 class, my 10 o'clock class, and then doctor's work. I did start early this morning, 6:30. Well, 6:30 and 6:45. Tried calling, making an international call. And I should really say it, international call. And it didn't go through. And I'm supposed to have international calling on my plan, so we'll see. I looked up how to make that call, but didn't go through. So I will look up. Maybe I wrote the number down wrong or something, so I'll look it up again. And I am just ready to have an amazing day. How about you? How's your week going? We are a Wednesday. It is the hump day. Oh. And Sunday is Mother's Day. So are you doing anything for Mother's Day? Going anywhere? Having people over? Honoring, commemorating if mom's passed? What are your plans? And sometimes our relationships with our parents, our mothers, or fathers, because Father's Day is also coming, hadn't been the best. Let's leave it at that. For multiple reasons, it could just have not been the best relationship. And to just try to remember the good things. Because there are times in all of our lives where there's a spark, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy, a little bit of comfort that we would have been provided by that person. And try and just take that one memory and let that be the seed. And I'm not saying make something up. I mean, if honestly, there's not one happy memory, not one good thing that happened with your mother, then okay, there wasn't. And we move on. I'm sure there was a person in your life who kind of slipped into that mother figure. And, you know, we can celebrate and honor that person. But for the most part, there's somewhere in there, there's one little spark, one little bit of joy. And let that be what you focus on. Not all the negative stuff, not all the bad stuff. And I get it. There's plenty of it. Probably a lot more of the negative than the positive. But if we let that become our focus, that's all there will ever be. And it will jade everything, all of your relationships. And just try and remember that this life did not come with an instruction manual, right? Being a parent doesn't come with an instruction manual. Kids don't come with instruction manuals. And everybody is different. And for the most part, people are doing the best they can with the information that they have. In today's day and age, we have a lot of information. And it's very vast, right? I mean, when it comes to parenting, there's the whole gentle parenting thing. And there's, it ranges from this pretty much let the kid do whatever the hell they want and they all come to their own conclusions of right and wrong. And then there's the opposite side where, kid gets, take one step across a line, forward, back, side to side, and, you're gonna get beat. So, it's vast in that way, right? All of the information that's out there and all of the techniques. That's what we have now. And depending on how old you are, your parents may not have had that kind of information. A lot of times they're only given what's handed down to them. And what's handed down to them wasn't always the best. And yes, some of us make that decision that we're not doing it that way. We're going to do it a different way. And we don't know how. And then we slide into what we know. So, I'm not saying that you give a pass if it's something horrific. But don't let it be your focus. And if it's made you the way they were, and you're not happy with that, go back to yesterday's video. Let's make that shift. Let's change the mindset. Let's know that we can change. It's never too late. There's never too much water under the bridge. If your changes are sincere and to the heart, or from the heart, then that's great. And if that person that was wronged accepts it, even with trepidation, okay? So if you are the perpetrator, you are the one that maybe was not the best parent, and I'm not going to say regret, but you are sorry about that, and you want to make changes. I heard a helicopter, I was just looking to see. And you want to make the changes, and you're moving in that direction, share that information with the ones that feel wronged. It takes a huge person to admit that we're wrong. And it's really hard for a lot of people to say, hey, I screwed up. I fucked up. I didn't do my best. I did the best for what I knew then. I know differently now. I'm going to work on making these changes. I appreciate a little grace. Not asking you to embrace me and, take all of that and in the instant flip everything around. But just observe from a distance. And as you see these changes are coming to fruition, then maybe open up to me a little bit more. Let the conversation go something like that. And again, that's if you want to make the changes. And there are generations, I'll say. And I want to say sexes that are not going to just be able to do that. Again, because of their upbringing, because of the way they were raised. And I'm not going to put men down, because there are women that are dug in and stubborn too. I will say, for the most part, okay, we have probably a higher concentration of men that will have a hard time sitting there and saying, I was wrong. So there is that. But they may very quietly in the background be trying to make those changes. And if you are that person that was wronged, consider dropping the anger and the frustration and the hurt. Not your guard, okay, but dropping the anger, the frustration, and the hurt. And taking an objective look. As you take that step back, take an objective look at that person that wronged you in whatever way. And were there little signs? Are there little signs that changes are happening? Because oftentimes there are. And there are not going to be trumpets to announce it. And we have to just watch for that. Like, be in tune. Oh, wait a minute. That's totally out of their character. What is that? What do you mean? What do you mean he just said, I'm sorry? What do you mean she just said, oh, I made a mistake? Those words have never come out of their mouth. It's those little changes. Without them coming forward and saying, hey, I'm going to make changes. They just start. But oftentimes we don't see it because we're hanging on to all that anger and that fear and that frustration, or we've blocked that person in order to protect ourselves. And sometimes that protection, I mean, if you've done it, then it's necessary. But if people have changed, if you have changed, you're stronger, you're wiser, and maybe they have made a change or two, then people are ready to start shifting. And to give them the room to do that. Not hold our past against one another. Because we all have had moments when we're not the most shining example of the human that we want to be. And if that one action was what somebody held against you for the rest of your life, I mean, there's a consequence for the action, right? However, it's not who you are. It might have been who you were in that moment. And who you were in that moment just because you didn't know better. Or maybe you did know better, but your anger and your frustration got the best of you. And you then behaved in a manner that was not stellar. And we've all had those moments. So give yourself grace. Maybe give the other person grace. And just allow yourself to move on. With or without that other person. I mean, you could even say to them, hey, I see your changes. And that's great. And I'm happy for you. But I'm not willing to go there with you anymore. And I wish you the best. And then let it go at that. You'll feel better inside too. Like, there's going to be a freedom there. So maybe just give yourself a break, give the other person a break. And like I said, whether you choose to reignite or keep that distance, that's totally fine. You do what you can to protect you. But just kind of let it go and allow yourself that space to move on. Because Mother's Day, Father's Day, there are those hallmark holidays that, and I call them hallmark holidays because, yes, you know, we have these people in our lives that for the most part, come on girl, I don't want to stop under the bee tree. I hear the buzzing, I don't want to stop there. I had a friend once. She was a single mom and had 2 boys. And Mother's Day was coming, as is Mother's Day coming now. And I said to her, oh, what are the boys doing for you for Mother's Day? Are they going to get up and make you breakfast? Are you going out? And she's like, no, it's just another day. And I looked at her and she said, my boys show me they love me every day. So I don't need this one day for them to tell me they love me. And I was like, wow. Wow. You know, that makes a lot of sense. So these Hallmark holidays, right? Hallmark is making the money on the cards, and the rest of consumerism making money on gifts. So I thought that was interesting, and I like to share that. Because sometimes we get disappointed, and this goes back to several videos ago about attachment, right? We get attached to outcomes. We think, oh, it's Mother's Day. I'm going to get breakfast in bed. They're taking me out for brunch. I'm going to get cards and flowers, and they're going to clean the house, and da-da-da, and da-da-da. We get these things in our head. Why? Because there have been commercials. And these days on the internet, a whole lot of curated, not going to say fake, I will say curated content about how well children behave and how husbands are so wonderful to their wives. I mean, when really half the husbands out there, you have to kind of remind them a holiday's coming several times. And it's not everybody. So I'm not generalizing. Right? But know that, you know, it's not going to be like it is in the movies. Good morning. Life is not like it is in the movies. Whether that movie is, you know, one of those tragic movies or whether it's real flowery. Come on, girl. So there's a gentleman behind me. I just want to try and keep him out of frame. I don't think that he knows or possibly even wants to be on film. Come on, you. So, anyway, all this curated crap that's out there. Everybody's life is different. And, you know, for me, because I love to cook, right? I may love to get up and make breakfast for my family on Mother's Day and not need to have it provided to me. But there's some fraction out there that has fed it to us that, come on, you, that this is what should happen on Mother's Day. If you really love your mother, you really love the mother of your children, that this is how you should honor them. How about talking to that person? What do you want? What do you want to do? What can I do for you to make you feel extra special on this day? See what she says. You may be surprised. Sometimes moms are like, I love you, I love my kids. Get the hell out of my house and leave me alone for 24 hours. That could be it. And there could be, oh, I love you all. I just want to be surrounded by you. And you never know. So ask. Doesn't hurt to ask. Now, if they've been telling you all along and you've not been listening, then you're going to probably annoy them by asking. So maybe think back to previous recent conversations and see what it is that maybe they said that gives you a hint of what they might like. So don't get bogged down by the relationship that you might have had with your parents. Don't, come on girl, this is another bee tree. Why do we have to stop under the bee trees? Don't get bogged down by the relationship that you may have had, especially if it was a negative one. And try and remember that one or two, that weird hair there, that one or two happy moments, and let that be your focus instead of all of the pain and hurt that may have been there. And maybe the greatest gift you can give that person is the gift of forgiveness. And to forgive and just move forward, move on. And to remember that we forgive others for ourselves. Okay? You don't ever have to go to that person and tell them I forgive you. But in your heart and in your head, forgive so that you can move on. So that you're not hanging on to that negative energy. We hang on to that stuff and then we start to replicate it very unintentionally. So let it go. And it can still happen, that letting go can still happen if our parents have passed. I mean, even more so if they've passed. Why hang on to it when they're not even here? You're letting something that has happened in the past, something real, not saying that it's not real, that's happened in the past, to dictate your entire now and future. That doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't suit you, doesn't serve you. Let that go. I don't know what's got her. She likes to stop under these trees. Maybe it is something that falls from these trees that smells good to her or interesting. Come on, girl. Or maybe it's all the bunnies that are out. Lots of bunnies out today. But with Mother's Day being Sunday and today is Wednesday, there's a few days to work on this. And if you had that storybook relationship with your parents, awesome. Good for you. Make sure you let them know how much you love them. But take care of you. It all has to do with taking care of you. It's not about, I'll be damned if I'm going to let them off the hook. That's not it. It's about taking care of your peace so that you can be and become and go to those higher places that you want, whatever that may be. So, thanks for joining me on my TED Talk. Oh, And of course, you can reach out to me. You can put something in the comments. You can private message me, whatever. If this has stirred something up and you need to talk, that's good. Let's do that. Let's work it out. All right. I hope you have an amazing day. Be fabulous on purpose. And I will speak with you very soon.